Okay, and for this final video, this is just painting a sky. I'm not going to draw anything. It doesn't have a lot of detail at the moment. I'm going to come back when my bookmark is dry and add all of this other stuff that you see. So I'm just worried about my sky. And so for my sky, I've chosen a sunset again. Sunrises, nighttime skies, whatever you want. I'm going to have a little bit of everything. So again, I'm going to kind of wet the paper. You know, I'm going to keep the very bottom half dry so I get pure yellow, but then just kind of wet the paper a little bit so I can have a wet on wet technique at times. I'm not going to do the whole thing because I do want to control it at some point. And so I'm just going to get my yellow. Again, I can mix colors if I need to on my tray, and then I'll just start painting. Here I'm looking for my pure yellow. I'm looking for the darkest yellow I can get. And then it's going to hit my water, and you can see automatically just how light it got. I'm going to try, and I'm not going to let it be in a straight line, just because sunsets don't really make straight lines of color. So I'm going to kind of let the yellow kind of go up in there in the middle, and then I'm going to start bringing in my orange. And you can see, starting with that wet paper, how light my orange got. And then I want to smooth it out. Unlike what we did in our practice paper, I actually really kind of want a smooth transition. So that's why I also did the wet on wet, so that way it can kind of blend. I can just bring drops of water in here, and I can just kind of touch it along the edges. Now it does fade the color out, but it also, this allows the color to kind of mix on its own, and it does what it wants to do, and it creates those yellow oranges for me. And I can go back in, I can touch a little bit more yellow in that space. And so you can kind of see it has more of a natural kind of gradation going on. So again, wherever I feel like I'm done with my orange, then I can just move to my next color, which for me was this kind of reddish color. And see, having that natural watery kind of spot kind of gives cloud shapes. So I'm not too worried about what it's doing and how it's looking. I'm just trying to create some natural, unnatural looking kind of blobs in the sky, because it would have this cloudy kind of atmosphere to it. And then if it's too white in one area, I come in and fill it with another color. Alright, so now getting to my purple eventually. Wow, really dark automatically. There we go. So I just add some water. That was a little too dark too fast. You know, I am going to have the dark marks somewhere in this area, and you can see as I'm painting, I'm kind of painting in circles because I'm trying to really kind of mimic like a cloud, and then I'm bringing in lots of water as I do this. Bring in some blue to darken this up. I'm not bringing black in yet. I will be bringing in black eventually. Now I can mix up a blue-violet on my palette. So go ahead and get purple and blue. And so you just detach this from the watercolor tray, and you just can mix your colors. That's the great thing about watercolors. And that way it doesn't contaminate your tray over here, and I can bring in this darker blue-violet color. And let's say I want to add a little bit of black to this now. So I can come in here, and now I don't have a true black sky, but I have this darker, it's getting kind of this menacing sky color, nighttime, stormy. If it's not dark enough, I could always go back, grab a little bit more black. Now I can come in and I can add, and you can see how I'm painting. I want it to mimic clouds, so I'm bringing in these kind of swirly patterns. You can see how I'm painting with curves, and it's kind of creating these little hooks. And then I want a little bit of stars, salt, and that's that.